check that it's live, because it takes a while to go live, doesn't it?
I don't know if it's just a delay.
Should we record at the same time?
Ooh, we are live. Let's press our button to do our little intro. Yeah, there's a delay. Cool. We are live on TV. Say TV. It's a monitor over there. Cool. So we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about, Matt. We're going to talk about game jams.
Yes, we are.
Why we have switched to game jams as our preferred method for team project modules. While you're just introing, I'm going to mute these speakers over here.
So we have run team project modules for a long time now.
15 years I've been doing this.
And last year we decided to trial doing our team projects as game jams instead. And there were some great results from the initial trial of just second years last year. And this year we've rolled it out to every year group, first, second, and final, and both designers and programmers alike.
Yeah. Should we talk a bit about what went wrong in the previous years? You've got a slide on it, I think. So when we've been doing it for a long time, and if you go down to one of the challenges, so we had disengagement was a big problem. So if you think about a project that lasts an entire year, a game idea that you don't necessarily totally believe in, communication issues during the year. What else have we got on our list? Communication conflicts, game understand, health issues, idea fatigue, boredom. That was a big one. Like halfway through the year, I don't really enjoy the game anymore because you played it loads. So we thought this entire year thing is going to be a problem, or was a problem. So we switched to game jams, which we do 3 of them. So our first years and our second years do 3 game jams, different games, different teams in the first one and the second one, and then the third one they get to pick their own teams, which I think works really well. The final years is slightly different because it's double-sized modules, so they have the 3 game sprints on the same game, and then they have that in-between bit on as well. So we had team-based learning is really important. It's really, I think it helps in terms of industry, it helps in terms of communication skills. There's so many benefits to working in a compressed time frame.
It helps you get a better understanding of how the different disciplines gel together to make a game.
Yeah,
you can't make a game just with one particular discipline. You need the programming, you need the design, you need the art, the animation, everything all merging together. And the team projects allow for that, to experience how to communicate and work with someone else.
Cool. So we switched to game jams, this is our solution to game jams. Our slides aren't quite following along with us. Oh, there they are. Now they are. So if we jump forward a few slides, what is a game jam? For anyone who doesn't know, I think all our students know anyway because they do it quite a lot. But for anyone who's not experienced a game jam before, it's a compressed time frame. Make a game, and that compressed time frame, there's the 1 hour, 0 hour jam.
Yep.
There's the train jam, that's 55 hours, I think, across Canada. And then you get the global game jams. You get week-long game jams. We used to do 48-hour game jams.
Yeah, we did. A few years ago, we used to do the working day jam, 9 till 5.
9 to 5, it was fun.
See what you can make in that compressed time frame.
Yeah. We keep saying compressed time frame because if you think about a AAA title that takes 4 or 5 years, then a week or a day is very much compressed. But it really focuses, we'll talk about benefits in a bit, but it really focuses the students into that panic that we used to get at the end of the year now comes like within those weeks, doesn't it? Yeah. So it's really, really, I think really helps, makes a huge difference. So what else have we got on our slides? So these slides that we're showing you, we presented at the paper, we wrote a paper on why we do this, and we also presented at a teaching and learning conference why we do this. So some of these slides are showing how we refined. So the idea of game jams has been theorized before as an academic thing in higher education. So we looked at the theories of these, the couple of the previous slides, and then we refined it just for us based on our experience of team project, based on our experience of game jams and what we thought would work best within the university. Huddersfield context.
Yeah. So the approach that we took was to run three game jams in a year, and each one of those game jams lasts a week, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, presenting the game that you've made in that Friday session. And we do that for the first year and second years. The final years we take a slightly different approach where they can potentially run the same game through 3 jams, so they have an extended period of time to actually make something. But essentially we're using the same approach to all 3 year groups.
Yeah, it works really well. We've got an implementation. This slide talks a little bit about how we wanted to evolve, so the teams are, like we say, forced into teams for the first 2 jams, and then the third one they get to pick their own. So they've experienced, and the weighting of the assessment goes up. So the first one's 10 in this current version. It goes 10%, 20%, 40%. So it's getting used to it, learning new skills, working with working with project management tools, systems, getting used to scrums, all that kind of stuff. Then doing it again, getting used to it, documentation, Trello, or whatever system we use, ClickUp. And then this third one that's currently running right now is where they've picked their own teams, and hopefully they're doing something really good. Which is where we come with the JAM spiral.
Yeah, so this JAM spiral
sounds like something you get in
part of learning theory, is that after each jam you have time to reflect and look at what went well and what didn't, and actually take that learning into the next jam. So after each one, you should, in theory, become more confident in the way that you approach the team project module. By the time you get to the third jam, is that you should be working pretty well as a team.
Yeah. I keep smiling because I've got the Twitch chat stream going past as well on this one. But apparently we're both very handsome, so I think somebody needs to clean their monitor somewhere at home. Clearly. It's running a super low resolution. Anything else on these slides that we use for? We can share these slides if anybody wants to read them at any point, and link to the paper if anybody wants to read our academic paper on the jams and how we came up with the idea, and then our tests last year with the second years, and why we've now implemented it into the final and first years, and what impact that's having.
Yeah. So I think from the trial that we did last year with the second years, what we found was that there was an increased engagement in the student and how they engaged in that module. As Duke said at the beginning, is that students tended to disengage by the time they got to the end of the year. So actually having pretty much every student engaged in it and wanting to make a game and working really hard, some of them staying overnight to try and get the games made.
Which we never enforce.
No, it's not part of it. It's 9 to 5, but they get that engrossed in it that they want to actually make something really cool and awesome.
Yeah. Did we any other bits of slidage? Is slidage a word? We just invented a new word. I think. Give some conclusions.
Yeah. So I think that's basically the summarised why we do it this way.
Should we? Is now a good time to play the video of the current jam?
Yeah, I think it's quite exciting because right now, as we're talking, they're running their third jam.
There they are
in the rest of the building.
So these are our first years down on the ground floor doing their jam, and then I went for a bit of a tour up the stairs. I clearly move it extremely fast. These are 1/3 of our final years, I think. The final years spread themselves across 3 different rooms. And then these are half of our second years, who spread themselves across 2 rooms. There's some more of our final years. And I think some more of our final years. And then I think we'll end with the rest of our second years. And George. I think that gives a good impression, a good idea of what's going on right now. It's a busy building that we're in. For anyone who's not been to Huddersfield, this is an old converted mill. There are 5 floors to this building, and we've spread out all our students across 3 of those floors. So it's they've got plenty of space. I think if anybody, I'll watch the chat in case they say.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that going, I'm famous now, Mum.
I'm famous now, Mum.
But yeah, it's really good to see that they're all in that room dedicated to making a game. Some of the teams for this game jam, I'm really impressed with what they've made. We're only in day 3, coming to the end of day 3-ish.
I was impressed on Monday with that the fighty one.
No, day 2, yeah. Some of the second years, by day 2, they got a prototype working.
Yeah.
So it's really impressive to see. I'm really excited to see what happens by Friday.
I don't think we mentioned that when we were talking about the benefits of the game jams. I think we've got, for all the jams last year and this year, we always got more in those jams than we ever got in the full year projects. I think pretty much, 1 or 2 exceptions, but generally it was also the amount of work they can compress into 1 week is incredible, and I'm always blown away every week, every Friday at the end when we do the presentations. So I was like, how did you do this in 1 week?
Yeah.
Not technically, literally how, but it's just like it's really cool.
Yeah, the Fridays are always the best day.
Yeah.
To actually see those results, and it's always quite interesting. The students, if we switch back to this picture from last year's lot, it's quite interesting. The top picture is them on the day 1, which is they're all excited and smiling, and the bottom, I don't think there's many smiles because they're all that tired from working hard.
I can see some of these are the second years, so some of this lot are currently running the final year jam right now, or sprint, and some of them I can see some faces that are actually on placement at the moment as well. In fact, can I see Chris in that top picture? He was down in the studio.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so I think it'd be quite nice if we have a look at some of the games that they made in the first jam and the second jam. We've got a couple of the games here that we're just gonna load up. Let's just grab one first.
You want to shrink that team viewer window?
Okay, so this is one of the second year games from, is this Jam 2?
This is Jam 2.
Yes, this is Jam 2 from one of the second years. Can you remember the controls on this one?
I think this is try WSD. But what I can't remember is how you talk to people. So it might be try the controller. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then one assumes one of the face buttons.
If I remember, the concept of this game was you're in this
murder solving. Solving.
Murder solving. But you're in this haunted mansion.
I think I've invented 2
and
new
when
words.
the lightning strikes, there's a murder happens, and you have to go around. First off, I have to try and find the body.
I don't think you ever see the body, do you? Or you leave it leaves like a hat or something. I think, or they all crowd around it. Anyway, you basically ask. A murder has happened, and then you ask people questions.
I can't remember.
So I say people. You ask little ghosts questions.
Can you remember what the keyboard was? What I should have done is gone to controls. Oops.
Let's resume. There is no controls. Oh no, it's disabled.
No. This is not going to plan.
You might want to minimize that team view window in case any of them decide to try and control our machine with the password.
Interact E. There we go.
Standard PC control. Unless it's Crisis. Wasn't Crisis F.
Okay, so there we go. So I've not seen anything strange.
Are you actually going to go all the way and try and solve the murder? What was the accuse button? What's at the top?
Accuse.
Anyway, while you're playing, so there's cool stuff in this one. So you've got multi-layer. I quite like how when you switch the camera, everything becomes visible on the top and kind of disappears on the bottom. When you go into the rooms, it's got fog of war. I'm not sure why it's got fog of war in the rooms though. I've never realised that before. I've never thought about it before. Why was it in the rooms? Because you're entering. Well, I suppose your camera could see them, like the top one.
Yeah, so you can't see over.
You couldn't see, and on the left you can't see.
Yeah, you can't see.
Oh yeah, it's to hide the murders, isn't it? Because if you were stood here and the murder happened next outside, you'd see it straight away.
I think it was yellow or red. So yeah, if I remember, you go through, you start trying to ask these questions and decide.
I think Tom is questioning my use of the word solvering. Solvering.
And you're trying to solver who committed the murder, and then you can let's just go to this person.
Go and accuse.
And let's accuse them. and it comes into a circle, and it'll say whether accused the wrong person.
You're rubbish.
And I blew up.
Yeah.
But
Essentially, you sure you've played a game before.
I don't know. But I like the concept of trying to solve this little mystery by trying to just work out the clues.
There's another in this current jam. There is a solving the court one.
Oh yeah, so
there's one about solving a well, it's not a murder, is it? Just a thing that we have that they solve. And then what's this one?
So this one was another second year one, and if I remember, this is WS&D. Yes. So you are using the elements of fire, wind, and earth to stop these little minions attacking you.
See, they missed an opportunity there, calling it fire, earth, and wind. It should have been earth, wind, and fire. Possibly only old people.
Now, it's just a nice little arena battler, but this is it's quite nice to see something fully built within a few days.
Yeah.
There's these little creatures that give you power ups, if I remember correct, or health. I think they were. And
was this the one where the colour of the enemy determined what weapon you should fire at them?
I think so, yeah. And that's right. So you have to.
Yeah. So you use it. It's about using the correct.
I think there was an upgrade system as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's at the end of a little run. I quite like these little animals. Obviously, it needs a little bit of polish. It's a little bit rough around the edges, especially with how fast the camera moves.
Still not bad for a week.
But for 4 and a bit days of work, it's pretty good.
It is.
I'm not very good at this, as you can tell. I've only killed like 3 of them.
Maybe you're choosing the wrong weapon. I can't remember whether you have to choose. Is it the same element that kills them faster, or the opposite element that kills them faster?
It looks like the wind. Yeah, the wind has just killed the red one.
Okay.
Oh, level 2. So I must have done something.
He did something right.
Boss
level.
There's a little portal. I don't think I've ever been in the portal. How do you get in the portal?
Like that.
Did I walk in it before? Is that what happened?
Oh, you reversed into it.
Okay.
So it wasn't level. You weren't good enough.
No, I was just going to the next zone. Oh, maybe I have to.
Okay. Anyway, should we next?
Yeah,
game?
Next game.
Just all F4. Speed out.
Let's do a first year one. Next game. Okay, so we have a game by the first years. So this is from Jam 1, which it says right here, the aim of the game: escape the maze, collect the fish to increase the amount of time you have, avoid the bad fish, collect gems for a boost, avoid any water, and stay away from the dogs. So let's start the game. Okay. So I've got 10 seconds. It's counting down. Ooh, what's the rainbow one do? 14.
Oh, we've turned sound off, haven't we? This has some quite cool sound. Now you're being chased by the dog. You just have to solve the maze. I remember the orange fish make the world black and white. So if you head over one of those orange fish, I think they're like poisonous fish.
Oh yes, that goes.
Only timer went down faster, I think. I might imagine that.
So I think they can still hear the sound.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh no, wrong way. What's that say?
They did.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
They left on texture streaming. That's why that did that.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, that would be my guess.
Let's go past the dog this way. Because in their demo, I remember them running this way.
It is somewhere in the top right, I think.
And so this is, interestingly, the game from the very first Jam for the first year. So this is the first game they made.
Oh, that's it. Your stuff now. You've been zapped.
So it's the first game they made. So it's really impressive to see what some students that have come from never even making anything before, from different college courses, maybe some from A-levels, and then within the first few weeks to be able to put something like this together.
That's really impressive. Yeah, 6 weeks in.
I don't think I'm going to be able to beat this one because I'm not a very good gamer.
Because you're casual.
I'm a casual gamer. Wow.
What else is there? We can see us or switch back again. We don't want to see us, do we? Right.
Okay.
Is this one
Do you
last
want
one?
to do this one?
Oh, no, you carry on. You're the gamer. We've just proven that. Well, you should. Where's your mouse?
There's my mouse.
Right.
Okay. Can you remember this one?
Yep. You go left and right. You jump and you mouse click to swing your sword.
So again, this is a first year game from the very first Game Jam. So
again, 6 weeks in.
Again, 6 weeks in. A lot of them never really done anything before. So actually to make character sprites and background sprites and a little bit of animation with the flames there as well is really impressive. Now the sword swing is really impressive as just change sprite.
There's also a slight delay. Like when you hit it, there's like it's not instant. Oh, maybe it's not. It doesn't seem instant when you do it.
So can you remember this? They had a story for this one, didn't they?
I can't remember now, but you have to try and the triangles chase you. I don't know if you noticed that, or at least they go left and right depending on where you are.
Oh yeah.
So if you get underneath, if you could jump over them, you see the sprites of. I don't know whether they've used like pawn sensing or just some proximity thing, some basic level of AI. Hang on, that triangle is a different colour. That must be a boss type triangle.
It's a dark orange one.
But it takes 2 hits.
Can I?
Feel like Whizbit. I might be the only person who remembers Whizbit.
I think. Do I need a key? I think I might need a key.
Can you wall jump up that gap? Just above you. Because there's no way you can get. Yes, you can. So you've got wall jump as well.
Oh, pro gamer. I also think I'm in God mode because my health isn't going down.
No, you did. You were on 5 hearts before.
Oh, I'm just. Right. How do I get in? How do I get in? On the treasure.
I don't think you collect treasure. I think you just finished the. Oh, there's a giant heart up there. That must be just health, I guess. Did you just fall through the floor? There may be some collision issues.
I think collision might be an issue here.
Yeah, collision was a secondary concept. Oh. You just jumped through.
Oh, you can press down and you go through.
Oh, okay, right. Okay.
Deliberate.
So it's deliberate. There we go. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Oh, there's a red one. It's got to be a 3 hit.
Oh, score 100.
You've got 260. Oh, look at that. 3, 4. Only collision problems. Yeah. Can you pick that?
There's probably a button.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's not me.
Yeah. On to another game. How long have we been guessing for? What, like half an hour? You guys can't see, but we have an Ash over in the corner. Say hi, Ash.
Hello.
And the last one we'll have a quick look at is another second year one.
Cybertank.
Called Cybertank. So some really good use of...
Oh, apparently we were playing a broken version. It only works with exactly 100. Oh, no way.
Oh,
okay,
right.
that sword with the score 100, you have to get exactly 100 to pick it up. So no greater than or equal to 100, it's exactly 100.
Oh, wow. This is a lot harder than I remember.
I like the lighting on this one.
So yeah, if I remember, they had this little story of light is the enemy. So you have to sort of attack these light robots.
Is it called Light Rider? Light? Oh, no, this is Cybertank. We played Light Rider before, didn't we?
Oh.
You're dead.
Okay.
So casual.
So let's keep going.
It's a good job I'm not playing them. I'd have died ages ago.
Okay, so I think there's some really nice features on this one. One is obviously the visuals and the lights, as you can see as you're firing the lights. The weapons, the buildings, the glass and stuff are reflecting the light around it. But in the top corner it says like how many enemies are close. So obviously you've got this big map, but you're also doing detection of...
Is this the one where they were spawning and they would, if they got bored, they would come looking for it?
Yeah.
So they had a map with lots of spawn. If memory serves, there's a map. They spawn all over the world, and then if they don't find anyone for a certain amount of time, I think they come wandering, don't they? To come and find you.
So it's a really nice game, but as I've either shown, I'm not very good, or it's the hardest game ever.
Yeah, let's go that. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've got one more.
Twin stick, so that suggests you're going to need the... here's Light Riders. This is another first year game. Again, 6 weeks in from Jam 1, I think.
Oh, no, it's maybe not. Is it WSD?
Yeah, but how do you rotate your gun? Or is it just...
Okay.
This is Chris and his team, I think.
Oh, yes, this is...
So you're already starting to dial up. You've gone yellow.
Space Invader style enemies coming down the screen. And just
enemy.
Well, in this case, it's just... Yeah,
what's that blue circly thing? I mean, blue spinning cube square.
Should we try and get it?
Power up, it's power up. Oh, there's another one up there. It's a shame you can't fire left and right.
What do the blue things do?
Oh, they health. Go and pick that one up. Yeah, it's health. There you go.
There we go.
That should be clear. That should be a more obvious health thing. I don't think you're going to win. How many times do you have to shoot it?
Oh my god. Come on.
Somebody said Space Raiders are crisps. Did you say Space Raiders? Instead of Space Invaders.
Space Invaders. Yeah, apparently so.
Who's hungry? We're back on. There we go.
Okay. So there's some really nice games there from the first two jams.
Yeah.
And I think
we have how many games have we got? We've got 9 teams in each first and second year. And then we've got 6 teams in final year. So we've got 24 games in total in the first 6 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
And then we're adding another 18 each time we go for each of the years. Is that right? Because we've got 9 teams.
Yes.
So we're gonna have, what's that, 60 odd games? It's pretty cool. It's a lot of games for 1 year. I mean, if you think about, for me, the thing that this works really well is portfolio. So first year's going to second year have of those 3 jams should have something for their portfolio. Second years have something, and then helping for placements. Second years have the same, helping for placements, and then final years having something that they can go out and say, look at my CV, here's my game, go and play it. I mean, you can't. If you think about a final year who goes through this entire jam process, they should have 7 games.
Yeah, 7 games as a minimum.
3 from first year, 3 from second year, 1 from final year. So they should have 7 games that they can put on their portfolio site. Maybe they'll skip some off, depends how the jam goes. But they could have up to 7 games on their portfolio.
Yeah. When
they graduate, I think that's pretty nuts from getting a job perspective.
I think it's also be good for a student in final year to look back at all the games they've made and go look at the progression as I go through. Like what in the same amount of time in a week, what I made in the very first jam to the very last jam.
It helps our programmers as well because programmers are involved in second and final year. So for them, it's sometimes harder to show a portfolio. But if they can blog about the cool stuff they did in the jams, this is my AI code, this is my networking code. We've got several teams doing networking. We've got some AI stuff. They can be blogging about that. Again, it adds to that CV possibility.
Especially for the programmers to actually just put a direct link to the download of the game. So if you are talking about the bit of code that you've done as a programmer, to then go, here's the game, go play it. So you have a perfect example of what it actually means.
Yeah.
It's good to see. And actually the collaboration between the different art disciplines, being able to go about environment and character and lighting of the effects all together in the same project and understand how to work. It's really good to see. So hopefully we'll be able to show you some of the progress from Jam 3 in one of the next updates.
One of the reasons we only showed these 6 is sometimes the executables don't come through. So any of our current teams listening, make sure we've got a playable executable at the end. I think it makes showing them off a lot easier as well.
Yeah.
What about putting some on Itch.io or something like that? Maybe put some of the best ones up there.
I think it's maybe something we'll look at, and if we put some of the builds on Itch, we'll put a link at the bottom.
Yeah, we can put a thing in the description, can't we? Some links.
Yeah.
Is that it for Game Jam stuff?
I think so.
Talked about Game Jams. I think we have.
Cool. Any interesting questions that are coming up? Or is it just
no? Not particularly. Yeah. I feel like we haven't talked about the board game collection enough. Which one? Well, we've only got a few at the moment.
This is a very small collection of our board games.
Should we live stream us playing a game at some point? Probably not. It'll take too long. Play one of the short ones. Dixie's good.
Dice Town's awesome if you haven't played it.
Yeah.
As a Small World.
Yeah. Anyway.
But so that's for another stream.
Yeah. Cool.
But that's the end of the stream. So thanks for
watching. Join us another time for another one, hopefully.